Okay, anything new here? Nope. What about here? Ah, are you guys conducting a secret infiltration into Ravage? It's a little reckless, but I'm not one to judge. I've learned that if you guys are set on doing something, there's no stopping you. Make sure to give me that big scoop afterwards. Grace, what are you talking about? You're coming in with us. No, that's not what we're doing for now. At the very least, I definitely don't want to barge in there in front of Grace. I'm still worried about Gantz. Let's hurry to the casino. Sure. Or... Oh, we have to go to the casino. But we're going to introduce Grace to all of her friends. Trying to get inside? Nice, guys! You could do it! Heck, with ties to Ilya Platir, you could do anything! You would think. But no, we get kicked out so much. Fly, my friends! To the promised land! What's got you so enthusiastic today? Shall we hurry to the casino? Something about the mayor's story has me worried. Sure. I heard a little rumor from someone over at Arc-en-Ciel. Apparently one of their members has been acting like a complete weirdo lately. Wonder what's up with them. Oh, maybe they've got an upset stomach. I will say, the one time you don't want to eat ice cream is on an upset stomach. Trust me. Oh, you came! Praise be to Adios! Hurry, I think a fight is about to break out. Where is Gantz right now? Ah, yes. He's in the middle of a private match in the back room. We don't have time to waste. Gantz could blow it any second. Huh? But I thought Gantz was the one provoking his opponent. Oh! It's Lecter! Okay. Based on what we can see on the piles of chips on the table, we would say that Gantz is winning, right? So what does he have to be angry about? Although, we would not put it past Lecter to still be able to beat Gantz, drug-enhanced as he is. But he's just toying with him, right? Like maybe he lets Gantz win a few rounds, and then Lecter wins it all back in one fell swoop. Eat this, punk. 9, 10, Jack, Queen, and King. A straight flush of diamonds, baby. Try to beat this hand. You can't. We bet he can. Are you kidding me? Wasn't expecting you to pull out a hand that strong on our last round. Oh, Lecter's gonna win. We can feel it. This is my true talent. You tied one too many games using those tricky hands of yours, but that's coming to an end. Oh, he keeps tying. That would be infuriating. You've lost now, so show me your hand already. Question mark? Huh? What are you talking about? I never said anything about losing. Are you kidding me? The only way you'd be able to beat me is with a royal flush. There's no way you could have... And that's where you're wrong, pal. What? A 5 of a kind? And with aces, no less. I can't believe what I've seen today. It depends on the game whether a royal flush or a 5 of a kind is the highest hand possible. But either way, it's clear this hand of mine takes that straight flush of yours and flushes it straight down the drain. You... Don't screw with me, you darn cheat! Drake! You're his accomplice, aren't you? Well, screw you too! I assure you, I am nothing of the sort. I swear upon Adios' name. And during my careful observation of the match, I saw nothing that suggests Mr. Arundel was cheating. Can it? How the heck am I supposed to buy that crap? Oh geez. I've got luck and intuition on my side. I'm supposed to be unstoppable. There's no way I can lose to this jerk. Sir, please calm yourself. He's right. You gotta relax, man. Poker's just a game of luck, after all. Sure, Lecter, sure. We don't think Lecter cheated. We just think he is very... something. All this means, pal, is that your luck has run out. Wow, you are never coming back to this establishment. I refuse to believe this crap. Ghibli should be a piece of cake after using that stuff. Oh. So he took the drug willingly. We were thinking maybe Ravach just found people, you know, at the bar or something and slipped it into their drinks. But no. He volunteered for this. Gantz? Oh no. There's no way in heck I could lose. Let go of me! Let go of me, darn it! You have to calm down, Gantz. What's with this insane strength? Gantz, stop this madness! Well, if it isn't my favorite pals. How's it hanging? I don't really think this is the time, Lecter. How can one man be so suspicious? I am almost impressed. Well, this guy's quite the character. An acquaintance of yours? Sorta? Not like we know squat about him, though. Dude. Whoa, hold the phone! A five of a kind versus a straight flush. What the heck even happened here? It was a real nail-biter, Randy. I was on the verge of losing the shirt off my back. Sure you were. I can barely keep up with this. At least we were able to neutralize the threat before anyone was hurt. Let me go, darn it! Let me go! I can't lose! I can't lose! Honestly, even if Gantz wasn't on drugs, Lecter... We're just gonna say it. Lecter has that effect on people, so... After further protest and shouting, Gantz became overwhelmingly exhausted and passed out. Due to his condition, the special support section decided to carry him to his hotel room. Oh goddess, how could such a thing have happened? He may not be the hardest worker, but he was always a kind man. There's not a soul in Mines who dislikes him. Mayor Bixon, I don't know what to say. For a nice guy, he sure was pretty violent for a sec there. Heck, I wasn't expecting it would take both me and Lloyd to hold him down. Yeah, I couldn't believe how ridiculously strong he was. Dot dot dot. Listen guys, this is just the old reporter's intuition talking, but, you think the guy could have been on some kind of drug? You know, the real serious kind. Pardon me? Drugs? You serious? Judging by their silence, I think Lloyd and Tio seem to agree with me. Agree is a strong word. I don't want to say anything without proof, but it's not outside the realm of possibility. That's preposterous! Gantz? On drugs! I refuse to believe it! He's just an ordinary down-to-earth miner. There's no way he'd ever use such... Sorry, sir, but hasn't it been almost half a month since he arrived in Crossbell City? Keep in mind that he earned quite a bit of Mira during his stay, too. Can you say for certain that he couldn't have taken advantage of that wealth? I won't stand for the slander! You mentioned that you're a Crossbell Times journalist, correct? Know that if you write some libel piece based on pure speculation, I will lead Mines and its people in protest. Whoa, cool your heels. I wasn't planning on writing an article on this anyway. Would you do us a favor, Mayor Bixen? I'd like to go through Gantz's personal belongings, if that's all right with you. You too! I don't intend to imply anything, sir, but there are too many coincidences piling up here. His sudden violence, the inhuman strength, the complete change in personality. All of these aspects are eerily similar to past cases. And in Gantz's case, we also saw an absurd development in his gambling skills. Might be because he took some stimulants to boost his perception or something. That would explain that freakish intuition of his. If his perception was cranked up to inhuman levels, he'd have no trouble reading people. It is entirely possible. I can only speculate that if I were to gamble, I would have an unfair advantage over others as well. Tio. Sorry, Tiotot. You know I didn't mean it like that. I am aware. Do not worry. Mayor Bixen, I understand you wish to keep Mr. Gantz's reputation intact. However, please envision the scenario where he is, in fact, consuming drugs. If the situation were to remain unhandled, it could pose a threat to himself and others. That may be, but I could think of a bunch of possible side effects that might crop up. Same here. And that's exactly what we need to be scared of. Very well. I fear I may not have thought things through well enough. Go ahead, Lloyd. Thank you, sir. Lloyd carefully examined Gantz's pockets, making sure not to wake him in the process. This is what I was afraid of. Received blue pills. Pills? Goddess, no! So you really had something after all. Pretty shade of blue, but what the heck is it? We can't rule out the possibility that it's harmless medicine yet. Maybe he has some kind of chronic disease we don't know about. Did he ever mention anything like that, sir? Not that I'm aware of, no. I cannot say for sure, though. Interesting. Would you mind if we hung on to these pills for now? Please do. But listen, I beg you, do not spread this around, for Gantz's sake. Of course, sir. We'll make sure to take his reputation into consideration. Also, could we leave him with you? Yes, I'll take care of him. I'll try to speak with him once he wakes up. Is he gonna be okay? What if the guy is still on a rage? Like... Thanks, we appreciate it. So now we have suspicions of an illegal drug circulating throughout Crossbell. Definitely didn't see that one coming. Really? I would have thought the Mafia was big into the drug trade. The contrary, actually. Illegal drugs hardly ever show up in Crossbell. Drugs are messy business, you know? One misstep, and they'll spread to neighboring countries like the plague. I've heard the 1st Division monitors them closely, thanks to pressure from Erebonia and Calvert. So I guess Ravage is smart enough to read the room on that one. Oh, I had no idea. Yeah, they made sure to cover that back at the police academy. Still, something about these pills. I've never seen pills like this before. The color certainly is pretty, but... Yeah, they're pretty, sure, but they're also suspicious as heck. Has Tio seen them before? Tio? Do you recognize them? No, I am sorry. I think it was just my imagination. More importantly, what do you plan to do with the pills, Lloyd? Maybe we could take them to the hospital to get them examined? Analyzed? Good question. I'm thinking this case is too much for us to handle alone. For now, let's go talk with the chief. Yes, he may know what to do. While we're at it, we should give a report on the Hayu raid. We've got mafias going to war with each other, and maybe some illegal drugs now too. Ugh, I get the feeling that things are about to get pretty busy around here. You can bet on it. You know, it's only been about 4 months since we first met. But you guys have grown a lot since then. Really brings a tear to my eye. Grace. Where's all this coming from? Flattery won't get you any more information from us. No, I'm serious. I've got some pretty high hopes for you guys now. Almost as high as the ones I had for your brother, Lloyd. Speaking of Guy, I never got a straight answer out of you. Grace, did you know my brother? Oh yeah, back when I was still a newbie at the CNS, he helped me out more times than I can count. Bailing you out of sticky situations, we're guessing? Sometimes, I think that even though he's not with us anymore, and his case has gone cold... So his death is still unsolved. At least there was a team built at the CPD to carry on his will. What? What do you mean, Grace? Oopsie, Circuit might get angry at me if I say too much. Anyway, I've got an event to cover, so I'm going to have to head out. So... maybe the SSS was Guy's idea? Or like he and Sergey came up with the idea together because they were tired of the corruption in the CPD? Or the ineffectiveness of the CPD? Oh, and I won't write any articles about the drug stuff, as tempting as it is. Bye-bye, everyone! Where does she get off dangling info like that in front of us, and then just walking away? Another addition to a pile of things we have to think about. So, it seems... Are you concerned about what she told us, Lloyd? Oh, well... Even if it does have to do with Guy, I don't really have time to think about it right now. The Heyu raid, Ravach's current situation, and now these blue pills. We have a lot on our plate. For now, let's put aside what Grace told us and ask the chief how we should proceed. Understood. Hopefully, he has some ideas for us. Alrighty then, let's head on home. Okey-doke. I apologize. I'm having difficulty maintaining my composure. It's okay, sir. Gantz is not the type of person who would get involved with drugs. I don't know if those pills are an illegal substance. If they truly are, then I'll track down whoever is responsible for distributing them and make them pay. Entrust Gantz's well-being to me. I'll ask him for information on his circumstances when he wakes up. I'm just praying those pills are nothing more than medication. It looks like he's totally unconscious. Think it's a side effect of the drug. It's too early for us to make a call. Come on, Tio. Tell us what you know. Maybe if we talk to Nikolai. Who is here somewhere. We'll get some new information. Okay. Alright. Let's go talk to Lecter. This is just unfair. This is unfair. This is so unfair. Oh, okay, never mind. Yo, guys. How's he holding up? Sorry, Lecter. It's not really our place to tell you that right now. But still, I think things have finally begun to calm down. I believe you should be able to get an apology out of him later, at least. There's no hard feelings here. That's just the way of the game, you know? It's not like I meant to utterly crush him after he'd been on such a win streak. Sure, Lecter. Sure. Hold on. Did you intentionally wait until the last hand to beat him? There's no freaking way, man. That was just some lucky coincidence. Sure was. A big, beautiful coincidence. Karma must have noticed all the good deeds I'd done and rewarded me. Did he actually destroy Gantz like that on purpose? Maybe he did. I'm honestly not so sure anymore. I am under the impression that nothing is impossible for a man like Lecter. Well, I only gave him a little push toward the inevitable. It was all going to come crashing down on him eventually. It just happened to be a bit sooner than expected. I'll leave the annoying stuff to you guys. Just make sure you don't take your eyes off of him now. Yeah, that's a given. Well, I'm all finished with my mission. It'd be kind of boring to just up and leave like this, though. Think I'll have a bit of me time, if you know what I mean. Fishing? Did he just say mission? What mission? With Lecter, who knows? Allow me to properly express my gratitude for all of your help. I am in your debt. We kinda looked out. Things could have been a lot worse had we not come when we did. Yeah, no kidding. Someone could have been hurt had they tried to fight him while he had that unnatural strength. Excuse me, sir. I know this may be uncouth, but would you mind keeping quiet about this for now? We've yet to uncover all the facts, so we don't want any misinformation to spread. Of course, we'll keep this under wraps for now. This incident getting out wouldn't bode well for our business either. Rumors are bound to spread, but I'll notify my staff to remain silent about it. The guy that beat Gantz is drinking with the owner right now. He managed to draw a 5 of a kind in their last big gamble. He's totally a pro gambler, right? That Lecter man came yesterday, but his skills weren't particularly memorable. I managed to utterly crush him. What about that last hand, though? Yeah, no kidding. Pulling a 5 of a kind off to beat a straight flush ain't something any regular guy could do. Nothing more than a mere coincidence, I imagine. Though, I can't say that for sure. The Lecter man's skills are less than stellar. Yet he manages to trap you by giving you a false sense of security. I'm worried about Gantz's health. We may have the occasional scuffle during our matches, but he is a regular at our establishment. I just hope that Gantz is doing okay. Aww. That Lecter guy's strategy is unusual, to say the least. What if all this time he's been putting on an act and losing intentionally? I think I'm going to have to keep an eye on him. We feel like Lecter has his own superpower. Has his own sort of like heightened perception. Just maybe in a different way than Tio. Jonah is stuffing his face with pizza. So, how is Hayu looking? Pretty nasty, I bet. Yeah, it wasn't good. Jonah, just so we're clear, you aren't going to sell this info on the Orbital Network, are you? He's already sold it, Lloyd. So you're just planning to circulate the details after we work for him, huh? Do we at least get a cut of the profits? Jonah, think very carefully about your response. Well, I just wanted to earn back a little Mira. Those information fees are killer. Come on, I'm just looking after my livelihood. This boy hasn't been disciplined once in his life, has he? Hey, I was surprised to hear something crazy like that too, you know? Since I accidentally spilled the beans, could we settle on an installment plan? Come on, no need to look so angry. Jonah. Alright, that's the same as before. But yeah, we feel like Lecter has his own sort of heightened perception. Like, Lecter is very good at reading people, right? And predicting outcomes, we feel like. Okay, nothing new there. We're gonna check in with Wazi. And then... Actually, have we spoken to Oscar yet? We can't neglect our oldest friend. Aw, sweet little Lloyd. Alright. Everybody else has been the same so far, but just to be sure... Ooh, do you guys have anything to say? Oh! No, wait, we already knew that. We already knew that one of the Vipers was also taking... It was Dino, right? Who also is apparently taking the drug? Sweet. Okay. Wait. Where's Kia? Oh, she's still in here. Do we have quests to turn in? Alright. You guys are back pretty late. Interrogating Hayu really take you that long? No, actually. We may have just stumbled into another case. We'll give you the details, along with what we found out about the Hayu raid. Chief. Sorry, was it too convoluted after all? No, that's not it. It's just the series of events. I'm starting to think that it might all be connected. We thought so too. You do? Seriously? What makes you think that? I know a lot has gone down in the last day or two, but I want you to try to connect the dots. Oh no, it's another quiz. Especially you, Lloyd. We're really going to need those detective skills of yours here. Sure, leave it to me. Today, we were able to discover roughly 3 pieces of key evidence. The information we heard from Cao about the raid on Heiyue. The intel we exchanged with Grace about the current state of Ravage. And everything we learned about Gantz, the miner from mines. So there has to be something that ties the three things together, right? I think I'm starting to see what you're saying here. For now, let's sort through what we know. How did we know? Which element of the info regarding the raid on Heiyue can be tied to the others? Assailants' physical abilities. Heiyue reinforcements. Informants' relation to Kia. Their physical abilities? Which element of the info regarding Ravage can be tied to the others? Was this not the exact same question we just answered? Did we just imagine that? Don Marconi's actions, investment in warhounds, haphazard chain of command. What? Which element of the info regarding Ravage can be tied to the others? Don Marconi's actions, haphazard chain of command? We think? Which element of the info regarding Gantz can be tied to the others? Which element of the info regarding Gantz can be tied to the others? When he disappeared from mines, poker match against Lecter at the casino, blue pills in Gantz's possession. What? We have no idea. When he disappeared from mines, like a month ago, right? Poker match against Lecter at the casino. Blue pills in Gantz's possession. Can be tied to the others. It's the poker match, right? Because it was during the poker match that he showed all that unnatural strength. And then during the Heiyue raid, the assailants were also unnaturally strong. Like, we know the blue pills are connected to everything, but they haven't been, like, found in any of the other cases. Maybe? We don't know. Like, we know the answer. Like, we know the big picture. We just don't know the detail. We're bad at this. We're so bad at this. Gosh dang it. Alright, alright. Don't make us... They're making us do it all over again? Okay, physical abilities. Chain of command. Blue pills. Pretty sure this is right. Do we get points deducted for that? You think these factors overlap? They're definitely suspicious, that's for sure. I think so, Ellie. If we take a closer look, we can see certain things linking the cases. The boosted strength displayed by the mafiosos who raided Heiyue. Gantz and his spontaneous gambling skills. They may seem independent of each other, but they both deal with a sudden enhancement of their abilities. Now, suppose we say that the connecting factor in all this are these blue pills. The Mafia must have started involving themselves with these illegal drugs in some way. Not just to sell to the public, either. Ravage's henchmen must be using the drugs themselves. Is that the general idea, Lloyd? Yeah, more or less. But in the end, it's still just another theory. However, that would certainly explain a lot. In that case, maybe the reason Garcia's authority over Ravage has started to wane. It's all thanks to their grunts taking this drug. Once they're all juiced up, they don't need to listen to him anymore. Things are starting to make a lot of sense. Nicely put, everyone. By the way, remember the rumors Ian told us about yesterday? About the child abductions? Of course, the trader and that stockbroker. Oh, yeah, that. Could those two be under the pill's influence as well? Who can say? At this point, that's nothing more than pure speculation. However, things are beginning to come together piece by piece. You feel the same way, don't you? Yes. But if I'm being honest, I don't think the Special Support Section will be able to handle a case of this size. We might even need to call in the First Division for support, given that the incidents revolve around the distribution of illegal drugs. Funny you should say that, Lloyd. Your timing couldn't be better. Huh? Oh, I found you! Dudley's at the door? What's wrong, Kia? Are you getting hungry? Nope, not yet. We have a visitor. He's a super grumpy old man. His forehead's all wrinkly. Yeah, that sounds like Dudley. Grumpy? Pardon me. Rude? He just shoved Kia aside. Oh. Detective Dudley? You're late. Apologies, Sergey. Investigation meeting ran a bit long. If this is about the same thing we discussed earlier, do you mind if we go ahead and begin? Sounds good to me. Before we get started, I'll need you to fill them in too, though. I don't have the time for your jokes, Sergey. This isn't something rookies should know about, and... Actually, I think the information they found will end up being pretty useful to you in your investigation. In fact, involving them will save you some time in the long run. Are you out of your mind? Then again, I did leave the Heiyu investigation to the Special Support Section. Maybe I can fill them in, just... No, it's simply not... Chief, if this is a bad time, we can step out for now. That won't be necessary. They don't call Dudley the ace of the First Division for nothing, after all. Maybe before the whole Ilya Platier investigation. But afterward? Just saying. I'm sure he realizes what he needs in a situation like this. Fine. Listen up. The information I'm about to disclose is strictly confidential. It does not leave this room, otherwise there will be consequences. Got it? Yeah, that won't be a problem. Ooh, is this a secret? I love secrets! Tell me too! How can anybody say no to a face like that? Well... I'll make you a snack, Kia. Why don't you go eat it with sight? The First Division is being pressured. Well, it's not quite as simple as that, Bannings. After the raid on Heiyu, we received orders to devote all our resources to quell any disputes between the mafias. Isn't that your job anyway? Because of that, we had to end our investigation on a mysterious drug we've been looking into recently. Really? Would you like a sample? The First Division was investigating the blue pills too. We only started looking into them a few days ago. Frankly, I'm surprised you even know about them at all. How exactly did the First Division find out about the drugs in the first place? We were tipped off about them by a longtime informant of ours. Jonah? Or not. Grace? She's been a pretty reliable source, so we started gathering more info based on her tip. But we weren't able to find anything more concrete than rumors and urban legends. I mean, a miracle pill that can grant wishes and bestow happiness. It certainly sounds like fiction to me. However, it was apparent that something shady was going on, so we were compiling a list of citizens that seemed to be connected, and... What are those looks for? It's almost like you expected everything I just said. Seems like our little theories earlier were spot on. Show him, Lloyd. Yes, sir. Take a look at this, Detective. What? Are these what I think they are? We found them on a certain individual during our investigation today. We were allowed to keep them on the condition that we protect their identity. Lloyd explained to Dudley in great detail what had transpired earlier. Darn it all, so it is real. And you're saying that it's possible that Ravage is the distributor. Dudley, about the order to stop the drug investigation. Any idea who made the call? It had to have been someone high up. Our chief didn't agree with the decision, but he enforced it regardless. What a mess. I mean, it's probably the vice commissioner, right? Hold on a moment. Does that mean someone high on the CPD's chain of command gave in to the Mafia's demands? That's unbelievable. Come on, how low can you go? The situation appears quite grave. Hey, Dudley. It's clear that you came to me because you don't trust the top brass at HQ. So what is it you're planning to do? Defect? Join the SSS? We wouldn't say no. Maybe. To be honest, there's nothing those of us in the first can even do about the drug investigation now. If any of us were to take action, our bosses would do whatever they could to interfere. But as a member of the police, I just can't let this go. Detective Dudley. Well, there's an easy solution for that. Leave the investigation to a special support section. Lloyd, Ellie, Randy, Tio, listen up, guys. From here on out, the SSS will be unofficially collaborating with the 1st Division. Since their hands are tied, you four will take over the drug investigation for them. Yes, sir. Understood. And in return, we'll get every last bit of intel the 1st Division has about Ravage. Sound fair? Sergei, what are you... Every bit of intel. You know there are some classified files that I just can't share, no matter what. Every last scrap. Take it or leave it, Dudley. Wow. You're stuck in a deadlock, and you know it. We're going to keep doing what we want, regardless, but you don't really have any options here. Darn. Fine, I accept your conditions. Glad we could come to an agreement. Well, well. So now we're the ones taking cases away from the 1st Division, huh? I can already feel a sense of superiority welling up inside of me. We genuinely love, like, how in sync Randy and Tio are. Glare. Yikes. Comment retracted. Even Tio is scared of Dudley. That's hilarious. I suppose I really don't have any other options. Alright. I've turned the drug investigation over to you now. So how do you actually plan to proceed? About that. We can't share details of our investigation with you. We already have the drug itself in our hands. The next logical step is to figure out what exactly it's made of. Not a bad start, but how will you go about doing that? St. Ursula? Based on what we know, we can assume this is an entirely new type of drug. Maybe the church? It'll likely be too much for the forensic tools at HQ to handle. That, and there's the risk of being noticed by the higher-ups. Ah, that's a shame. But in that case, we might be able to ask the medical college for help. I think we know just the guy to talk to, huh, Lloyd? Oh, that doctor again? Hey, I mean, it's not Kia, so we don't care.
The medical college. You mean St. Ursula? Right. We know a doctor there who specializes in pharmaceutical research, actually. I've heard he's one of the best in his field. So there's a good chance he'll be able to figure out the drug's composition. Well, alright then. That might just be our best option, given the circumstances.
Or he'll accidentally use our sample as fish bait.
Dudley, can we get you to compile the First Division's intel and send the report to us by the end of the day? I want them to decide how to approach the investigation for themselves. Understood. I'll send it over as soon as I can. Well then, I should go. Thank you for your cooperation, Sergei.
Likewise.
Oh, and aren't you gonna thank them too?
Sergei is just rubbing it in now.
Listen well, you four.
That doesn't sound like a thank you.
If you do anything stupid, this entire situation might nosedive. Understand? Your task is looking into these drugs, and only that. Dealing with the mafias is the First Division's responsibility.
That definitely does not sound like a thank you.
Stay close to the ground, behave, and most importantly, don't get in our way. Sheesh, is it really that hard to say thanks for doing my work for me?
That's hilarious.
Perhaps under that tremendous scowl of his, he's simply shy at heart.
They complement each other so well.
Maybe so. Also, it seems he has a stronger sense of justice than I first thought. Yeah, I think we can trust him. Most of the First Division's just like him, diligent as all heck, and driven by that same strong sense of justice. Though, by the same token, a lot of them are extremely by the book, makes them inflexible and obstinate. So, you're going to head to St. Ursula right away. Yeah, that's the plan. Though I'd like to take care of some support requests too, if time permits. That's right, we didn't have the chance to go outside the city all morning. Guess things are about to get busy. Probably best we just tackle things one at a time. Glad to see you guys are up for the challenge. Now, I know we're cooperating with the First Division, but don't get too worked up over that. Just do things as you would usually do. Show me you're capable of cracking the mystery behind these drugs. Yes, sir.
Based on Tio's reaction so far, we wonder if her abduction had to do with these drugs. Maybe that's how she got her extrasensory perception as well. Like, she was given the precursor to the current form of the drug. Maybe?
St. Ursula Medical College, huh? This doctor you mentioned, that's the guy who looked into Kia's amnesia, right? Yes, sir. Dr. Joachim Ginter, an associate professor of pharmacology and neurology at St. Ursula. When we last spoke, it was clear that he knew his stuff when it came to medicine and drugs. Well then, he should be reliable for this kind of thing, but... Chief? Is something bothering you? You could say that. Strength, speed, concentration, and intuition. Supposedly, those are the kinds of qualities the drug is able to augment. But is it able to increase your luck? Well, I'm not sure about that. Rationally speaking, you would think that would be impossible. But how else would you explain Gantz's miraculous luck at the casino? Yeah, gambling's a tricky thing. Intuition and strategy will only take you so far. Before long, luck always shows up as an element. So that begs the question, was he in Lady Luck's good graces, or a devil's clutches? Sounds like there's still a few more mysteries to be solved. Tio, if you're up to the task, I want you to look into that for me, as as thoroughly as you can. Very well. That was my intention, anyway. Why is he asking only Tio? Perhaps he knows something we don't.
Interesting.
So you'll have the professor at the medical college take a look at the drug. And in the meantime, I'd just leave the First Division to do their jobs. They know what they're doing, so I'm sure they'll deliver. Just do your own thing for now. You know, like you've always done.
Okay, sure. We wonder, maybe Tio was part of an experiment. Search for an important person. Anton, is Anton back? I want to meet privately. I'm looking for someone important to me. Come at once. Campbell Estate. Wasn't that the Republican representative? Flowers for fallen friends. Old man Quint. We're guessing this is the groundskeeper at the church. I'm looking for some special flowers to place on some graves. For details. Yep. Come to the cabin next to the graveyard. Okay. Alright. We want to go to the Campbell Estate. After we talk to everybody, of course.
Aw, guys. Do you have to leave again? Sorry, Kia. We've got something to take care of. We'll be back in the evening, okay? Want us to bring you back a souvenir? No, that's okay. All of you coming home safe is the best gift I could get.
Aww.
Kia. My heart. Her smile has pierced my very soul.
The grim atmosphere ran away at the first sight of her smile.
Huh? Have a good day. Be careful.
Kia, why are you so cute? Nothing from sight. Alright. Who do we talk to? Where is Wazi? There it is. Why was that so hard to find? Okie doke. Nothing new there.
I heard about Heiyu's office being raided. Ravage is acting far too recklessly. It won't end with simply taking revenge at this rate, will it? I fear you may be right. Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? If I were Heiyu, I'd definitely be giving them a nice little thank you for the present they gave. How inept do you have to be to not kill their boss in a raid like that? If I were Ravage, I would have definitely made plans to silence him. Permanently. I sometimes forget how dangerous Wazi can truly be.
Makes sense, makes sense.
Do you wish to speak with Wazi?
No, we want to speak with you. So we spoke to Wazi. Maybe we see if anything is going on in the back alley? Imelda?
Well, that little mystery can wait. I have business to deal with today. That old man should be calling me any minute now about that lovely piece.
We're guessing, the dude at the doll studio.
I'll have to prepare quite the arrangement to sway him. What is she talking about?
Maybe he's selling one of his dolls? Okay. Hey guys.
Sources say this bar is frequently used by Ravacha's members.
Alright, let's see what we can dig up.
I don't mesh well with these kinds of places.
Interesting. Okay, this is the same. What about at the theater? We're getting kicked out again. Sure, sure. Lecter. What is his mission, though? We can't imagine that, the Chancellor actually cares about this drug distribution ring. You know? Nothing new here. Okay, let's go pick up the quest with Campbell.
This is the house of Representative Campbell, who sent the request. We're searching for someone important, right? It sounded like the representative was freaking out.
Probably his cat.
Hey, doesn't Mademoiselle's Gramps live around these parts? You happen to know this Campbell guy. Well, about as much as fellow neighbors would know each other. Representative Campbell is an ambitious man. He's so driven by his passion for politics that he often brushes aside everything else. I see. That matches the way I had envisioned him in my head. Either way, he's requesting our assistance. Let's try asking about it if he's home.
Oh. The gate just magically opened, all on its own. Wait, is that another room? No. Anything in here? Hello? Unbelievable! What a foolish thing to do!
We must find a way to retrieve her, Representative Campbell. Excuse me, gentlemen. We're here regarding the support request.
Ah, you're the CPD's something or other section. What a relief. We were becoming so desperate that we'd be willing to scrape the bottom of the barrel for assistance. Is it too late to leave? Just a moment. Are you not Ellie, Mayor McDowell's granddaughter? Why have you come with them?
It's been some time, Representative. As it stands, I'm currently employed by the CPD. I visit you as a member of the SSS today.
Is that the case? So be it. I suppose the mayor is neutral. Nothing to be concerned about then. But Representative, the Imperial faction's cunning members rely on underhanded tactics. What if they catch wind of this incident? I'm guessing you're in a position that could cause some political strife, Mademoiselle.
Speaking with Diet members is always such a pain. Excuse me, Representative Campbell. Could you tell us what happened? At least, what details you're able to share about the situation? It's just, you look troubled, so... I seem to recall the support request seeking assistance in searching for an important person.
Yes, that's right. Well, you see, I've run into a bit of a snag. I suppose I have no choice but to explain the situation to you. But let me make one thing clear to you. This is a politically sensitive matter. The Republican faction has been placed into a difficult situation. This must remain strictly confidential.
Understood. We'll promise to keep this under wraps. We swear to remain silent about the investigation, Representative. Very well then. Listen up. A certain person affiliated with our faction has disappeared. Could you elaborate? It so happens to be my very own daughter. She just ran away from home, along with our maid.
We would think that it was that girl in Mines, but she was Erebonian, was she not?
All that fuss just ended up telling us his daughter ran away. My daughter? Are you referring to Carla? We were classmates in Sunday school.
Ah, really? Well, the representative and his daughter have never been on particularly good terms. Their relationship seems to be entirely comprised of petty arguments. However, the timing couldn't be worse. Our main supporter, Heyue, was raided this morning. Dealing with the aftermath has been cumbersome. That utterly foolish daughter of mine would normally leave her to her own devices during a hectic period like this. However, recent reports have shown the Mafia's spats becoming more dangerous. It's far too dangerous to leave two girls wandering around on their own. Yeah, I'd be worried about your daughter's well-being if I were you too. Not only that, but if this were to become publicized, the Imperial faction could use it as ammunition against me. You can't let your guard down during the diet, so I prefer to avoid any scandals. And with that, I request you, the SSS, to discreetly apprehend and return my daughter to me.
It all comes down to protecting his reputation then.
Guess that's just how these bigwigs think.
I already assumed as much. Well, it's clear that you're concerned for her. There's a fair chance she might be in harm's way after all.
Agreed. We understand the situation, sir. We accept your request to search for your daughter. Oh, thank Adios. Bring her back immediately.
I can't promise we'll be able to do it quickly.
But we'll locate your daughter and provide protection until we safely brought her home. Very well. I suppose I'll rely on you for the time being. Proceed however you like. I believe his daughter left a note in her room. That note may prove useful to your investigation.
Thank you for letting us know. We'll take a look at it then.
Welp, guess it wasn't a cat after all. All we have to do is look for somebody in a maid outfit, right? How hard could that be? Don't know how we feel about actually bringing her back here, though. Maybe she'd be happier, out and about on her own.